Welcome to Bible Trivia. This time we'll be asking questions about the 12 disciples. The first question, worth 100 points. Which disciple was a tax collector? Was it A. Matthew, B. Jude, C. Bartholomew, or D. Matthias? The answer is A. Matthew was the disciple who was a tax collector. The next question for 200 points. Who were the first two disciples to be called? Was it A. Peter and Andrew, B. Matthias and Matthew, C. Jude and Bartholomew, or D. Thomas and Philip? The answer is A. The first two disciples to be called were Peter and Andrew. The next question for lots and lots of points. Which disciple tried to walk on water like Jesus? Was it A. Thomas, B. Peter, C. Matthew, or D. Jude? The answer is B. Peter was the disciple who tried to walk on water like Jesus. The next question for a half a point. Which disciple was known as the zealot? Was it A. Simon, B. Thomas, C. Judas, or D. Matthias? The answer is A. Simon was the disciple known as the zealot. The next question for 500 points. Which disciple betrayed Jesus? Was it A. Thomas, B. Philip, C. Judas, or D. Bartholomew? The answer is C. Judas was the disciple who betrayed Jesus. The next question for a supercalifragilistic number of points. Which of these persons was not one of the 12 disciples? Was it A. Matthew, B. Andrew, C. Mark, or D. John? The answer is C. Mark was not one of the 12 disciples. The next question for 1,000 points. What did Jesus do to each disciple during the Last Supper? Was it A. washed their feet, B. hugged them, C. gave them gifts, or D. washed their hair? The answer is A. During the Last Supper, Jesus washed the feet of each disciple. The next question for a dozen points. Which disciple looked after Mary after Jesus' death? Was it A. Thomas, B. John, C. Peter, or D. Andrew? The answer is B. John looked after Mary after Jesus' death. The next question for 800 points. Which disciple denied Jesus 3 times? Was it A, Peter, B, Thomas, C, Andrew, or D, Bartholomew? The answer is A. Peter was the disciple who denied Jesus 3 times. And the last question for double your current points. What did Jesus send 2 disciples to fetch on his triumphal entry into Jerusalem? Was it A, palm leaves, B, a horse, C, a donkey and colt, or D, food? The answer is C. Jesus sent 2 disciples to fetch a donkey and colt on his triumphal entry into Jerusalem. Thanks for playing Bible Trivia. We hope you'll play again soon.
Is there anybody here today that know that we serve a great God? Come on, I say, is there anybody here today that know that we serve a great God? I'm talking about the man that woke us up this morning and started us on our way and put the breath in our body. He gave us the eyes to see and the legs to walk. Hallelujah.
For the ashes of my soul, you restored and you made me whole.